Alrighty. Let's get into these fucking replays. I'll let you know what I see. First off, let me know what you're... Okay, these are solo queue, I think. That's all fine and dandy. This is all fine and dandy. Yeah, everything you did there was fine. Not really any mistakes there. That's why you scored. Hate the delayed kickoff, but that's okay. Here, let me see. Like right here, you turn. I guess you don't really know if your teammate's gonna, because if you're playing solo queue and you don't know if your teammate's gonna go, you just kind of have to assume he's going to, which is unfortunate. But there, it would have been nice if he would have pulled off after getting the flip. Your teammate fucked up here heavy. He should just give up on this ball, but he didn't, and it's troll as fuck by him. Yeah, your teammate fucked you there. The only thing you could have done, I mean, here, like, when you see your teammate still on it, if you make the decision to just say fuck you and just hit it into the, and you just flip into the corner, just so that way it just goes, like, it's gonna give possession back, but at least it doesn't double commit in the corner, because he's not gonna be on the ball anymore. And then here, once you see this, I think you should start going up for block automatically, knowing that he's kind of backwards. It's hard to notice that he's backwards in the moment, but like right here, you should be turning in and going already. But, I mean, your teammate really fucked that one up. There's not much you could have done there that would have won you that. I hate not cheating. Even on these, I would rather you just pick up this boost right in front of you and then just flip forward and then follow him. Don't like that flip. You need to go here 100%. They should never, like, your main decision here is give your teammate enough time to get back, because you know, let me get the fucking, like, you know, give me my fucking fly. You know that he's trying to get boost and then get back. So the main thing here is, like, you wait front post, which if you're gonna wait, because it's not the worst decision to wait, but if you're gonna wait, you need to be sitting like right here where I'm at right now. You need to be sitting like right here, and then so that way you can have the entire post covered. But if you're gonna go front post, you need to just be already going in the corner, and you need to trust that he's gonna get back in time, because if you challenged right now, you would have a good challenge and you'd easily have enough time for your teammate to get back. So here I would have liked an early challenge. I would say, like, right here, you flip into your corner, you go up wall, and you go for an instant challenge. And if your teammate doesn't get back, then it's just GG. Your teammate sucks. Go next. But realistically, like, your teammate's gonna get back here. So you do decide to go, and you went too late, and it wound up giving you an awkward thing, but they didn't capitalize on it. That's a good go early. That's how early you should be going on pretty much everything that you go on. And it directly led to an attack. Okay, here, honestly, you should have had, your teammate should have turned if he's gonna follow ball side, but since he didn't turn, you need to be going right here already. Like, I just feel like you could have made this decision way faster to go. This is good. This is all fine. This is all fine. Pass there's not bad. This is an interesting decision. So, normally, yes, you would want to go for a shot. The only thing I would say is your angle on the ball is going to have to be really fucking good. And on top of that, there's someone that you see 50ing this. So it's like, in lower ranks, you could assume that Zayden over here on your right side, you could assume that Zayden's not going to make it. and that he's gonna miss, and then you get a free shot. But realistically, the angle you have to get the shot, plus the angle that 50 is gonna lead to, you know that 50 is gonna bang out to your left, because like you just have a bad angle on the ball. So it's like you're basically playing for them to mess up, which is always bad. And you're also you know your teammates no boost, and he's about to get corner, so it's not the end of the world. And I don't think you guys. Okay, you guys do get. Well, no, you guys score off of this, so maybe I'm fucking crazy, but I just feel like here, like you know that this is not gonna be a shot, with how he's 50ing, so it's just not really like consistent. They both fuck up, get a free goal. It works, but I wouldn't trust it long term, making decisions like that. It's good 50. You get boost, you turn back on the ball, which is good. I think right here you could have given up on it a little bit. Like if you're not able to get that touch, then just don't touch it, because instead what you did was give them the ball. Because like normally it's gonna go right back to your teammate if you don't touch it. Like right here, if you don't touch this is going straight to your teammate, or at least it should. Like, because it's flying right back. But instead, what you did was you kind of just centered it mid. And even if your teammate like fucks up or doesn't get the right rotation here, it's gonna wind up being right here. So you can see it's gonna be like right here, which is way harder. It's way harder to score from here than it is from where it winds up being in the middle of the court. So you never want the ball to be in the middle of the court unless you're directly passing to your teammate. So since you know that this touch is gonna go a little bit to the left, you probably just don't want to touch it. But instead, you're allowing your teammate to make a save. It's a good bump. It's a good adaptation to what you messed up. That's good. Yeah, that you made the right decision not to go for it, because it's like don't play for their fuck up. Now I will say, I don't think, because like even though you see him in the corner kind of fucking up, I just don't think you can make that decision to go for it comfortably. So I think you made the right decision to pull off of that. Good go. I think here. Nah, you see your teammate has no boost. You can turn for that. I don't think it's necessarily the best decision though to turn back on it. Cause I think right here, you go back. You go from here. You head back through this pad route. So you get boom, 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 and then you follow your teammate back up. And since your teammate got side boost, he was gonna be here for the 50. Like he could have been here for. You see like how he's like right behind you now. It's not the worst position in the world, but instead of it being you empty boost with ball, him full boost without ball, it would be him full boost with ball, you picking up pads, getting half boost, ready for pass. So it's like, it's just the situation would have been a little bit better had you let your teammate go get this. But instead now you have to have a slow rotation out. It's good looking for bump though on the rotation. Now you have to go back all the way to get boost. That's fine. That's a good decision to go for it. What is this? Okay. I don't hate that. Don't love it either. This is terrible. What the hell? What the fuck are you doing? You see him up for pass here. Like right here, you should be in goal. Because yeah, you guys don't get scored on here, but like really easily you could have. Instead it works out. You guys get a shot attempt. That's a fine shot. I think this is troll by both you and your teammate to go for it. It's especially troll by your teammate. But you see him turn into the ball. So even though, yes, he made a mistake, like the second you see him jump, you should be like turning off rather than turning on. So I think that was a fuck up on, it was a fuck up on his part, but it was just an inability to adapt on your part too. Okay, you know that's gonna go mid. It's a good boost pickup. I don't like that you slowed down here. I would have rather you seen you just full boost up and then 50'd this. Because at this point, you just race card the guy that you just landed on, like that just landed on top of you. So if you 50 this and it goes mid, your teammate has an open net. But instead, you kind of slow down and pull off, which makes it a lot more difficult. You see your teammate going, so you're good. This is all fine. That's a good weight. That's a good pass. Teammate puts a shot on net. That's good. Yeah, right now it seems like on this replay at least, like everything looks pretty good. This is just a wrong read from you. Yeah. I think on this one you just kind of got to wait a little bit longer before you jump. Because if you wait like a little bit longer, you have to also think like how hard of a save that is for your enemies. But I mean, realistically, like if you can just get up to it perfectly, then it's fine. But I think you should wait like half a second longer before you jump, just so that way you know how hard the pass is. Because the reason you missed this is because you thought the pass was going to be softer than it was, but you didn't have to think that. But it's okay, you don't get scored on. That's good. Good pickup boost. Teammate gets boost, it's good. You're mid for it. No, you can't do that. You have to always assume they're gonna touch this. Like you can't play assuming they're miss. Even though they missed the first time, to assume that they're not gonna touch it at all by the time you get there for a shot is just a little troll. So you just don't assume your enemies are gonna mess up pretty much ever. You should always assume like they're gonna do the right thing, and then that'll make sure you don't get scored on in situations like this. But you do get scored on. They're down a goal and they took their time to put it in. That's crazy, but okay. Alright, so let's see. Again, not cheating. I hate it. It's a good go. Your teammate should have shot that on. Your teammate definitely should be shooting. What the fuck? Motherfucker's playing for clips. It's crazy. That's a good touch. I wish you would have... I mean, if you don't feel comfortable catching this, then that's fair. But if you could catch this off the backboard, like if instead of jumping, you just drove into it, you would have wound up catching it, and then you would have had an actual possession rather than just a clear. But I think it's fine. It was almost trolled by you to go in there. You should get corner boost and then go get this. Nice. Taking your time is fine here. You're up one as well. Not the best possession, but that's okay. Gives it okay. No, we're playing for clips. What the hell? Alright. Yeah, just don't jump there. But it's fine. It's a good job challenging right afterwards. A lot of people are scared to challenge in those situations, even though that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, you trust your teammate here. Good job. Yup. It's a bad touch, but not the end of the world. That's good. Give your teammate time. Okay, here you kind of fucked up a little bit. Once you know your teammate's gonna get it, you should be instantly pulling left here, and then going, you should be going back post, like right here. Just because you know there's only 10 seconds left and you know your teammate has control. So, like, instead of where you are, like right now, like if this guy was better, he would have already been 50ing. And if he was 50ing while you two were like this, it's just so much more free for them. Because if it goes backboard, you're in no position to play defense. So here you should be going back post rather than following him super close. But it's not the end of the world because you guys don't get punished for it. And instead, your teammate gets a free goal, which is lit. Yeah. Yeah, overall, it was not bad. It was just, there were a couple times where you played as if your enemies were going to make a mistake. There were a couple times where you didn't do that, which is good, but there was a couple times where you did do that. One of them led to a goal. And then there were a couple times where you didn't rotate to back post. But other than that, it wasn't bad. So let's go through replay number 2. All right. Player view on you. This is good. You let your teammate. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is troll. Here you should be turning off ball cam, honestly, at some points to see where the enemies are. So like here, your car, like if you had turned off ball cam, you would have seen much earlier that this guy on the left side of the screen wasn't really close, and you wouldn't have flipped into this ball. Because if you just take possession here, you have full, like, look how much time you have. You know what I mean? Like, look from the time right here. Look at how much time you have right now. This guy's backwards, low boost. This guy's on the other side of the field. And instead of taking possession, you kind of just throw the ball forward. And it instantly gives you a bad 50 where you got beat. So just try not to flip into the ball unless you are going for 50 or you are passing or you are shooting. If you're not doing one of those things, don't flip into the ball at all. Like, you should never say to yourself, oh, let me get some momentum by flipping. Like, don't ever do that when you have possession. Just keep it on your car until you are going for your 50 or your shot or your pass. But you guys don't get directly punished for it, so it's okay. You got demoed. It's unfortunate. We'll see you spawn back. It's a good save. Again, right here, you know you have time. You know you have a ton of time. And yet you just kind of flip into the ball. And it's like, if you just took possession, you'd have a one-on-one with full possession. And also, you use your boost to do it, too. So it's just like, you know this, like, you know Matrix isn't scoring. Like, you can see that very clearly. And you know that Poplet is way out of the play. So right here, like, it's scary because it's in front of your goal. But it's not scary because they're not there, you know? So just try not to flip into this or use boost until you get full control of the ball. Because instead, you just kind of hand them the ball. And if they were better, they would have shot that on target. This isn't bad to rotate like the way you're rotating. It's not bad. See, this is good. That's good. That's great, actually. Your teammate fucking sucks, but that's okay. It's a good 50. Your teammate's trolling, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. Your teammate's still trolling, not the end of the world. That's almost a great 50. You should be getting out. You should be leaving. Right here, as soon as you get this boost, you should be leaving. Because your teammate right now is just sitting, praying he gets an opportunity to play the game. So you see how he's like, you guys are in the same quadrant right now. Like, think of the map as 4 quadrants. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's this sun, that one, and that one. You guys should almost never be in the same quadrant. And if you are, you should be on opposite ends of it. So it's like, when you are doing this, first off, your teammate's trolling by following you so closely here. But then, right here, you're trolling by not leaving. Because now you turned back in, even though your teammate wants to go in. And instead, now you're out of the play, and your teammate's not in a great position to catch this. So just make sure that you're rotating out when you need to. It is just as important as rotating in. Your teammate's still trolling, but that's okay. It's a good save. You should instantly be getting in this boost over everything. You see your teammates, so you pull off. That's good. This is honestly good. You assumed Poplet had a shot, which is good, because somebody will have a shot on that. That is, I don't know if you meant to pass it. If you did, it's a bad decision, because you could have just shot it. But if it's not if it was just a messed up shot, then that's okay. But you should be trying to shoot this. And again, if you you have time here. It's another one of those situations where you don't see the guy to your right, but you also know he just flipped. Like, you know Poplet here. Like, you know Poplet's out of the play. He's floating down slowly, and you just saw him float out of your screen on the right. So it's one of those things where, like, you should kind of know, like, oh, hey, I have time here if I want to just catch this. So you could have just caught that, but instead you just kind of hit it away. This is good, D. This is good. That's a good hit. That's a good challenge. Gives your teammate the shot. Your teammate doesn't troll. That's good. Yeah, it'd be a lot easier though if you just kept possession a couple times. You didn't cheat again. Also, the reason why it's so big, I'm so big on cheating, is because it's just, you never want the opponent to have a free possession. And so in lower ranks, when neither of you cheat, it's like, okay. But when you go against somebody that does cheat and you're not cheating, there's so many times where you're just giving possession away and you're not challenging that possession. And then no one really knows what's in it. Like, throws off the rotations instantly because nobody's first man anymore. Because normally the first guy is first man, like on kickoff. So like here your teammate's first man and you're second man. But then the second that he hits the ball, now you should be first man. Like, at this point, you should be first man. But it's really hard for you to go be first man, and instead you're getting beat. Now, they don't take advantage of it because they suck, but it still doesn't change, like, the fact that you should be cheating so that you can go be first man after the kickoff. This isn't the worst turns. That's terrible. You gotta get a better clear at that. If anything, like, you just gotta not jump. But that's just a mechanics thing. That's not like a decision making. Like, you made the right decision going for clear, but I think going for clear like this and just hitting it into the wall, like, if anything, hit it into your corner, or like tap it into your corner lightly, because at the end of the day, like, the ball is not nearly as dangerous in your corner as it is in the middle of the field. So you hitting this and letting it go into the middle of the field is like really troll a little bit. They don't take advantage of it. Your teammate kind of trolls. That's okay though. I don't hate this. I really don't hate that. Damn. Just an unfortunate series of events on the offense there. It's a good demo. I will say, going back actually just a little bit, seeing you do this, I think you need to turn your transition speed up a little bit, because like how slow it is turning on and off ball cam. I don't know if that's just my settings or yours, but it's really slow right now, it feels like. But that's just a camera settings difference. That's not a fake, that's not a good bad fake chow. Going there is a little troll, because this is a terrible pass from your teammate. So at sometimes you kind of just have to say, like, okay, that's just a terrible pass. I'm not going to go for it. You decide to go for it, and they don't punish you for it. But on a lot of that, you should be not going. You should be assuming that they're good enough to play defense. Same thing here. Going for this is just a little troll. Like, you're going to have teammates that get mad at you, and they're going to be like, oh, man, go for it, go for it, go for it. But realistically, like, going for this is just terrible. Because if Matrix was half decent, it'd be over your head in your net. It almost was, but thankfully not. Going for that's troll as well. Here, just don't be afraid. Like, just go. The second you see it kind of a little too far over you, and you see that there's a guy right next to you, and you see your teammates floating towards it, like, you know your teammate can't get back on defense really easily. So just go back to goal here. Because instead, now you're going to have to make a save, probably. Oh, never mind. This guy sucks. Fucking GG. It's not bad. Okay, letting your teammate go. It's fine. That's a good save. It's a good boost grab. You should be heading back. Your teammate shouldn't have turned. You should have gone in there, but I understand not wanting to because your teammate's been turning for a lot of shit. Here, I wish you had a little bit more awareness to see your teammate in front of you here. Because if you saw your teammate right here, you would have never been this close to the ball to begin with, and it would have made this touch a lot easier. That's not a terrible go. Leaving that for your team. I hate this. I hate this. I hate seeing this shit. I'll be honest. It just pissed me off. I get what you want, and I get how it could work. But at this point, I just hate it. I hate double committing, because that's all this is just a double commit. And if this doesn't work in your favor, you're fucked. So if your teammate misses the shot, or if you miss the demo, both of which happen, by the way, because you missed demo and your teammate missed a shot, and now it's just so fucking difficult to get back. Yeah, and they actually do punish it that time. Yeah, I hate demos like that. Demos, for me, in my honest opinion, demos should only be rotational. So if you're heading back towards your net and you can catch somebody and demo them, then that's a good thing. Or if you just pass the ball mid and before you go back, like right before you go back, you can try to get a demo, go for it. But turning on the ball like this right here, right after this touch, turning forward here and going up is just, it's so risky. And in a game where you're up 1-0 especially, like if you're up 5-1, go for it. If you're up 1-0, you should, with 50 seconds left, you should never be taking these risks. But instead you did, and you guys wound up getting scored on because of it. But it's not the end of the world, because I can see that you guys do eventually score. So let's see how this goes. It's not bad. You should grab boost here. Good. It's good. You should be going in again, shooting. Nice. Good shot. It's a good decision to go for it. Even here, you should be cheating. But it seems as though you do not like that. That's a good touch. The reason why it's okay to flip here is because you know Poplet's there, because you see Poplet slow down for the ball. So you know you can't take your time. So it's okay to flip there. But if you, that's why it's different than the other situations. That's good for you. Your teammate kind of trolls. It's a really good job going in on your part. That's unfortunate that they got the demo. That's unfortunate that doesn't go in. Yeah, you should be heading straight back. Oh, it's a little greedy getting that boost, but they didn't do anything with it. So that's good. Yeah, there were a couple things there, especially with like not taking your time, that I think I could see, but overall you still got the dub. This is your guys' first loss. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. This one, it's not bad. That's a good try. I would say simply you got to get better at this jump. Because if you were just a little bit better at getting that jump, it's not even a goal. And you wouldn't have to worry about it. Yeah, that's all good. You should be... I think... No, because your teammate's really far back. So I think it's okay. Damn, your teammate's ass. That sucks. That's okay. Here, I mean, simply like, if it were me, if I saw this, I'm just assuming this is past me, and I'm rotating back, and I'm letting my teammate come up for it, rather than making him sit back on defense. Just because that 50 is never going to go your way. Like, once the ball's already kind of past you, like here, there's no world where you get up fast enough to get a good 50. Just the angle you're taking and, like, the speed that you're going to have, it's just, the angle especially, there's just no world where that's going to be a good 50. Your teammate trolls, though, and doesn't go in, so that sucks. And then he gets the worst 50 of all time. But you also didn't play that perfectly. Here, I would have cheated a little harder and then gone, and you see this guy floating down. You have 40 boost. He has none. You can easily beat him to the side boost here. But instead you don't want to. I think you could have easily beat him if you had followed a little closer too, especially then. You didn't really get the save there. They punish it. Yeah, your teammate sucks ass. Yeah, I mean, your teammate does suck. But again, like, if you get this mid boost, like if you cheat and you get this mid boost, you could contest that ball from really early on. And you can honestly hit it before it even bounces off the, like right after it bounces off the ceiling, before it even hits the ground. Like, you could already be on this ball right now, and none of this would have happened. But instead, you kind of like had to go late. Just created a really awkward moment. On this, yeah, it's hard to assume that he's going to get an extra touch. But you also knew, like, he got back boost, because you can see both boosts are gone on the left side that you can see right now. So it's like, you know he has full boost. So you kind of just have to wait a little longer or go up way earlier. Like, what I would have loved is if right here you jumped. Like, the second you saw him going up, if you would have jumped right away instead of turning around like this is a lot of time that you're giving him to do whatever he wants. And if you would have just gone and gotten like a dirty little 50, like even if it's not a good 50, it would have given your teammate so much more time to get back to where he doesn't have to like panic. So it's like, one, you could have already been on the ball had you gone for a side boost. Two, the second you saw this guy double jump, you should have been up to challenge it, rather than waiting for the quote-unquote save opportunity. Like, you don't need to get a save here, you need to get a 50, basically. But it just doesn't really work out in your favor, and then your teammate kind of just sucks. That's okay, though. It's good rotation. Okay, getting the boost there is a little troll, but it's not the end of the world. The reason why it kind of sucks is just because you know your teammate sucks at this point. So when you know your teammate's not that good, trusting him to fully hold possession here, when there's two people like on the same side of the field, trusting him to just like have the ball is a little yikes. But you guys don't get punished for it or anything, because your teammate doesn't fuck it up completely. That's a good touch. It's a really good touch. Your teammate gets a decent 50. That's a good boost grab by you there. That's a good goal. I will say, like, well, yeah, once you saw this guy backflip, you kind of knew you had it. And you're down 3 goals, so I think it's a good decision. Just go for it. Jesus Christ, you got a stroke. Here on these, when somebody does this to you, your first thought should not be to get boost. Your first thought should be to demo this guy that's about to touch the ball, because you know he's about to pass it. So just go to where he's about, so you know exactly where he's going to pass it to as well, because you see this guy go to your right. So you know he's passing it to the right, so you know he's going to drive into the ball to the right. Just go for demo. It would have made this a lot better, because then you wouldn't have to worry about anything other than that first touch. And you would have full possession right here, which you get it anyways, kind of. But you kind of see like how much easier this would have been if this guy wasn't here. You know, like if that guy wasn't there at all, you would have been in such a better position. But now you guys have to stop a shot attempt. It's a good save. It's a good read. Do I like that you went this fast to it? Yeah, I think I do. I think this is okay. That's a little yikes. I think you were trying to pass it though, so it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst decision. It was just unfortunate execution that you side flipped instead of front flipping into it to pass it. There, you kind of just assumed they weren't going to touch it again, which is just a bad mindset to have in ranked. It's a good read. And it's a good shot. It's just unfortunate that they were there for it. You just saw him pick up that corner boost and you still drove over it. That's a little troll on your rotation. You would have been to this ball like a second earlier, which could have been the difference between scoring this goal and not scoring it. Like, because you saw that guy just pick it up. So at this point, you should be heading directly to the side boost if you want it. But instead, you flip to the corner, thinking that maybe it's there. And it just slows down your rotation like just a half a second, but that half a second literally could have been the difference between scoring this goal and not. But I don't think you played it poorly. Just going for that boost kind of fucks stuff up. That's good. You assume your teammate's going to lose the 50, which is good. Your teammate sucks ass. This doesn't feel super winnable just because your teammate sucks. That's a good shot. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, your teammate's so bad. Okay. That's a good shot. Getting this boost is troll. You should be picking up pads and staying on the mid line and letting your, because you know your teammate's gonna go up for it. So like right here, if you like you're forcing your teammate to play defense one-on-one, and you already know your teammate sucks, so you're just kind of trolling by putting your teammate in that position. Thankfully, he is able to barely get to the ball, and like also like you went to grab 100 boost just to use 40 of it to get back. You know what I mean? So it's like, I understand that you want this boost really badly, but you have to also understand like it's way better just to pick up a couple pads, get to like 40, 50 boost, rather than having 60 and you pretty much should have gotten scored on. Like if this guy doesn't suck, if odds or whatever his name is doesn't suck, then you guys get scored on. And you only have 60 boost anyways at this point. Now you're at 0. Get this side boost. That's good. That's not terrible, because you do kind of have to get this boost. Yeah, I don't think that's that bad. You go here. You go faster. You are using all your boost so fast. But yeah, I think you make the right decision to just get this like that. And then once you see your teammate touch it, you should be going straight into the ball. I think you should have jumped a little earlier, but that's also just your comfortability with reading it off the wall. This is terrible. This is, never do this. Never level or go in front of the level of your teammate. So it's kind of like, this is like the worst position to be in, because your teammate basically has to pass it. Because if your teammate gets 50'd by trying to like take a possession shot, you're not going to be able to play defense at all. And yes, you are down 2 goals, but it's pretty much never worth it, in my opinion. So now like you're in a really awkward position where you have to make that touch, and you're pretty much 0 boost, and you're in a bad position, and you're floating down. So it's like you're just in a really bad spot at this point. And in like, if you had been in a better position, you probably could have scored a goal there. Just off of like what happened, because you would have had more boost too. That's, again, you have so much time. You can easily take possession of this. Like, just tap it. And if you just tap it, you can get this boost and have the ball. But instead, now you got the boost, but at what cost, you know? Because you just kind of gave possession away. So there's a lot of times where you flip into the ball when you don't need to. It's a great demo. And that's a good one because you see how you're heading back towards back post and you're just like, oh, on my way there, I can get a demo on this guy. And it's like, that's perfect because you're in your rotation. So it's a rotational demo. So I love those demos. This is all fine. That's perfectly fine going for that. You should be trying to get back boost here. That's good. You should be going up earlier. If you were able to read that a little bit earlier, you probably had a shot on net. That's a really good get. Your teammate still sucks ass. That's unfortunate. Again, here you're kind of leveling, like you're going up in front of your teammate, even though your teammate's first man. So you're not playing second man at all. You're playing second first man, basically, which is just really bad. And it leads to you, and you assumed he wasn't going to hit the ball correctly. You should be assuming he's going to hit this double in to the net. Because if you do, you would have been farther back. You would have been here. So, like, rather than being front post, you would have head back. If, like, right here, you head to right here. And then you see that touch. Look at how much easier this becomes. You could easily be missing no. And just, like, get the ball right here over him and in the net. But because you assumed this guy was going to miss his double, because you assumed he was going to miss his double, now you're in no position at all. And instead you guys are having to risk getting scored on. So, but it's okay. This is good. Getting boost here is fine. It's good staying behind your teammate. You know he's hitting that. I mean, you should be able to see that this guy's hitting this, and you should already have been turned to where he was going to hit it to. But again, instead, like, this is another example of you know you have time. Like, you know you have time to catch this ball. But instead you just flip and give it away. And you just say, here you go. Here's the ball, good kind sir. So it's like, the reasons you guys got scored on, I mean, there were times where you should have gotten scored on, but you didn't because of your mistakes. But it seems like the reason you guys got scored on, the times you did get scored on, wasn't really your fault. It was more so your teammates. So this game probably felt like it was your teammates' fault. But realistically, like, you guys should have scored like 5 goals, probably, off their mistakes. But instead, mainly because you gave the possession away a lot, like you did it like 3 times here. That's 3 times where you could have had full possession. If even one of those turns into a goal, this game looks entirely different at 3-2 versus 3-1 the whole time. So it's just one of those things where, like, you got to hold on to possession a little bit more. Let's go look at your 7-3 stomping. This one we'll probably just skip through a little bit. Okay, good 50. You know your teammate's getting out. You should be going in already. This is a little bit of a troll 50 by you because you're almost heading like back towards your net trying to get this 50. Meanwhile, if you just kept your momentum going, like if here you just decided to boost directly into the ball, you could have gotten a lot better 50. But it works out because your teammate's there perfectly for it. That guy's trolling by going for a squishy save. But that's okay. Your teammate must have called that he was faking, so I'm gonna leave that be. In these situations, what's really best, when you know you can't get this, because like, you know with the angle that he hit it at, you know you're not getting this pass off. Like, you know that, or you should know that. So what you should do is you should hit it directly. You can even flip into it here, because this guy's like gonna 50 you if you don't flip into it. This guy, this Rezgon, whatever the fuck his name is, you know he's gonna 50 you if you don't flip into it. So you can just flip into it and flip it this way into the wall over here somewhere, so that you can pick up this boost and keep possession, rather than hitting it, trying to get it back to him. So like, you see how if you would have hit the ball over this way more, you would have had full possession versus Dusk. So now instead Dusk has full possession, and he doesn't really do anything with it. He just gives it right back to you. But to assume that that's how that's going to go every time, when you could have just had full possession yourself, you could have played it better, basically. Flipping there is a little troll, but it works out. Here, I mean, you should see your teammate still going for it. So I think you wanted to double jump. That's why I think it's troll. It's because it looked like you wanted to double jump here to try to read the pass, but then you accidentally side flipped, which actually saved your life. Because if you double jump here, it's actually a goal for the other team. Because you would have been missing this completely, and then your teammate wouldn't have been able to get back. But instead, you side flipped, so it worked out. If you meant to side flip because you pulled off of it, then good job on adapting to it. But I just didn't. I don't think you did. So if you didn't mean to, if you meant to side flip, good job. If you didn't mean to side flip, you gotta wait a little bit longer. And you can't just assume your enemies are gonna miss like that. This all seems fine, I think. Let me just... I think this is a good 50 by them. I think you're doing a good job of trying to get back as fast as you can. I would have liked to see you pick up more pads there. If you would have... Like, if you would have left off ball cam for, like, a little bit longer, and then made sure you aligned yourself with the pads, then you would have had, like... Because you could have picked up 3 pads. You would have had 36 boost. Because you could have gotten... Realistically, like, you could have gotten the 3 in the middle on your way back if you just turned to the right a little bit right here. But instead you didn't, and if you had gotten that, you would have had 36 boost, which would have been really nice. But instead you're at 0 and you're getting bumped. It's not bad. You know you have time here. That's perfectly fine. Because you see your teammate really high up, and so since you see your teammate high up, you should be passing it, which is good, which is what I think you tried to do. So I think that's fine. You should be... I think here you should be going probably, like, when you see this, you should be going backboard realistically, because anything that they cut in, your teammate's gonna be there for, because your teammate should be behind you, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, your teammate's behind you. So your teammate's back post. So, like, anything that goes into the middle, your teammate's going to defend. You should be trying to take possession of the ball in the corner. And so since you know you can trust your teammate to go back post, you should be going back. You should be going backboard. And if they cross it in, your teammate's there. And if they don't cross it in, then you're there. But instead, you kind of have to play it weird. It's not a bad go. Ooh, that flip is a little unfortunate. You should be picking up pads here. Jesus Christ, how many pads are you going to miss? Jesus Christ. Oh, brother got the big boost, though. Yeah, I think it's just way easier here if you just, if you don't miss that pad, you get that one, and then you miss another, like, 3 pads. If you don't miss 4 pads there, I think you're perfectly fine. But you still get it anyways, but it's just, I don't think it's a sustainable play. Like, not being able to pick up pads like that, I don't think it's sustainable for climbing. Here, oh, that's super troll. You went super troll here. You should never be doing that. You should be picking up pads, brother. You can't just go for a big boost there, because now your teammate's in a 1v1. Thankfully, it doesn't matter because this guy sucks, and they give you a free goal. But realistically, like, you're winning a lot of these games because you're not getting punished. But if you're losing games, it's probably because mistakes like this get punished more in those games that you're losing. And you just, yeah, you gotta pick up pads. It also just makes this a lot easier. Like, imagine if you had just gone back already. Like, you would already be back, like, right now. You would have already been back post instead of going for that corner boost. if you had just picked up pads. Also, if you had just picked up pads, you would have been in a lot better position for this 50, where you wouldn't have to get kind of lucky on the 50, because you do kind of get a little lucky that this guy just missed. This Resgon guy, if he doesn't just fully fucking miss the ball pretty much completely, this 50 gets a lot more difficult. And you're already at 40 boost because you had to boost so much to get back anyways. So if you had just flipped and gone the right pad pattern, you would probably have pretty much the same amount of boost, and you would have been back about a second sooner. And you landed on that corner anyways, so now grabbing the other corner didn't really matter. But regardless, you got a good little 50, aka the enemy missed the ball completely, so it all worked out. Let's see what happens here. Your teammate doesn't cheat, and that is unironically why you guys got scored on. That's why you gotta always cheat, but it's not the end of the world. Perfect. That's not a bad decision to go for it. I just wish you would have made that decision a lot sooner. Like, if you know you're going for it, and this is also just you having to read the ball better. Like, you should know that this is bouncing where it's bouncing. But then once he doesn't get that catch, I think at this point, like, when you see how he's on the ball, since you didn't challenge earlier, like, if you would have been boosting already towards the ball, you would have been in a lot better position. Because then even if you don't get the ball, you still can demo him rotating out. So it's like you're fine either way. But since you didn't go for the ball, going for it this late is kind of troll. And you just kind of get beat. And I would have rather you gotten some pads. Oof. I think your rotation here is a little poor as well. You should be cutting in a little bit more and getting these boost pads. And then if you had cut in a little bit more, it would have made this turn in a lot easier. You see how, like, because you were too close to the ball, you couldn't really turn into it? Like, if instead you had gone... I would have liked to see... From here, what I would have liked to see would be jump off the wall, wave dash, boost pad, boost pad, boost pad, and now you're, like, right here by the time this ball gets in here. And you would be right here. And you can see, like, how much easier it is to turn into this than it is to turn into this. So imagine if you were here, bang. But since you're here, you kind of have to do this weird, awkward backwards thing. Which, again, it doesn't seem like you guys get punished on it, but to assume you won't is just a bad way of playing. Here you should be wave dashing into this. I don't think you know how to wave dash, which is perfectly fine. I would say, like, try to get used to it, because it's a really useful mechanic. That's an unfortunate 50. Is there anything better you could have done? Not really. Your teammate trolled by going for the 50 after he was already kind of past the ball. That's just an unfortunate pinch. I feel like you maybe could have gotten that if you had just reacted, like, a little bit sooner. But I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, I think that that's perfectly fine. If that's how they score their goals, then let it be, you know? So I don't think you really made a mistake there. And you get it right back, so it's okay. So let's see. Your teammate called for the fake, I'm assuming. Then he missed it. That's good. You heard the other guy jump, or you heard somebody jump, so you just went for the ball. That's really good. It's good spatial or audio awareness. This is perfect. Okay, you fucked up. You did fuck up on it, but it's so good that you did not just flip into this. It's so good that you went for catch. Now you fucked up and didn't catch it, and you seems like you get scored on here because of it. But you made the right decision. You just fucked up. Ooh. What about going here? I think when you see, like, you kind of have to have the awareness to know that your teammate's too far. And you kind of just got to go. but I don't think it's the end of the world that you didn't. Like, I think your teammate also just fucked up, and it's really hard to notice that in the moment. So I don't think I don't think it's necessarily your fault you got scored on here. I mean, it is your fault because you fucked up the possession right here. Uh, right here. If you would have been able to catch this, it's a completely different ball game. But so it is your fault that you got scored on. But I think right here, it's not your fault that your teammate gets scored on. I think you could have saved it, but I think expecting you to know that you need to save it is just too much to ask for from pretty much anybody. It's not bad. I would have liked to see a better shot attempt, obviously, but that's just a mechanics thing. That's not a decision making thing. Going here is not the worst thing. I don't think you made a huge mistake or anything, because you do have to kind of assume like that maybe your teammate's not going to get the good 50. This is a little troll. Okay, they miss, and so you don't get punished for it. But realistically, you could have boosted into that a lot more. Like if instead of 89 boost, if you had like 70 boost right here, you would be under the ball if you would have just boosted into it more. The second that you see him hitting it, like if you're boosting now, you would have been under the ball and been able to catch it, which would have been a way better possession than just jumping into it and then giving away possession. Now they didn't do anything with the possession, so it's okay, and you guys get score, so it's perfectly fine. But the possession would have been more consistent if you just held on to it rather than jumping into it. Kickoff's fine. Getting this boost instead of side boost is a little troll, just because you can't assume that your teammate's gonna like follow this up. It's just not it's not consistent enough to assume your teammate's gonna get a follow up. But obviously you guys don't get punished for it, so it's okay. Yeah, seems like a lot of stuff you guys just don't really get punished for, which is to be expected at like Champ 2, Champ 3. But there's gonna be guys that can punish these mistakes really easily, and I'm sure you've played against them before and you've probably lost to those guys, just because there's a lot of times where you're throwing away possession a little too easily. Like there, I mean, your teammate's kind of trolling by still being up. You're trolling by not either you need to flip into this ball, so like double jumping there is just really bad, because like you see like right here, boom, right as soon as like you made your decision to double jump so early when you didn't need to. You could have just been driving to the ball. You would have seen this guy flip dusk on your left side of your screen, and you would have known that you have so much time. And then you could have done one of two things. You could have kept possession on you, or since your teammate's up, you could have seen the pass way better, and you could have passed it way better than what you wound up passing it. I'm honestly surprised you guys did not get scored on. Your teammate's fucking crazy with it. That's tough. Yeah. Overall, it just seems like they don't really punish you, but there's like a couple times where you hand away possession too easily. Okay, cool. So then they FF. Alright, cool. And that's all the replays, I think, yeah. So basically, like, the main thing is don't flip into the ball so much. Again, only flip when you're ready to like leave the ball. That's basically the only time you should ever flip, is whenever you don't want the ball anymore. But most of the time when you want possession, you should not be flipping into the ball. And then cheat on your kickoffs, because I know there's times where it sucks, because there's times where the kickoff goes like right over your head and you feel like, oh man, if I didn't cheat there, I wouldn't have gotten scored on. But more times than not, it's just way more helpful for the rotation, because like you got to kickstart your rotations, and that's what cheating does on kickoffs. So not cheating kind of just, it puts the rotations in a weird spot off the rope, which can lead to some goals as well. So flipping into the ball is a big problem. Not going cheating on kickoffs is a problem. And then I would say like assuming your teammates are gonna win, and assuming your enemies are gonna mess up. Those are really bad habits that a lot of people get into because they're so used to people at this rank messing up, especially people that are trying to make the push to GC, because GC is where you start seeing people not mess up nearly as much. So it's like, if you want to really make that push for GC, you have to assume that your enemies are not going to mess up. But then you have to assume your teammates kind of are, because you're going to get teammates that fuck up. And so it's just more consistent to play as if things aren't going to go your way, rather than playing as if things are going to go your way. Other than that, you don't really make a lot of, like, there's a couple mechanics I wish you would, like, I would say mechanically practice wave dashing. That'd be like the number one thing. Oh, and then boost pads. Boost pads, boost pad, boost pads. I think in every game there was probably like 200 to 300 boost that you missed out on just by not having the right boost patterns, like going across the boost on the right way. So I would say, yeah, don't flip into the ball. Don't flip into the ball. And then cheat on your kickoffs. Learn your boost pad pickup routes and get good at them, and get good at doing them without having to turn off ball cam would be best. And then getting used to playing as though your teammates are going to mess up and your enemies aren't. And then that's going to help you climb to at least GC1, I think. I think other than that, you're pretty much good on everything. You make the right decisions on going in and out for the most part, and you make them fast enough. So I think that's fine. But I think it's mainly just like your boost pad pickup, and you're flipping it. You're giving away possession a lot, which is one shitty thing. But other than that, I think you're good other than the stuff that I talked about. So yeah, hopefully you fix those things, and then you'll see yourself climb. But have fun learning those things. Goodbye.